Alright guys, welcome back to the Deacon Hoover Radio Network. Welcome to Real Estate Investing with Alex Deacon, formerly known as the Deacon of Real Estate podcast. We decided we wanted to clean it up a little bit, make it sound a little more professional, so to speak. But the Deacon is still here.
Oh yeah, we're going to be way more professional today.
We're always super serial.
Absolutely.
But Alex, how are you today, good sir?
I'm good, man.
And I hear we're here today to talk about maybe some shortcuts.
You know what I'm really happy about?
What are you really happy about?
It's not 0 outside.
I'm so happy that it's not 0.
Yes. I think it's like 28, man, and it feels wonderful.
Do you know that in the past, just this year alone, and I won't tell you, we're taping this on the 19th day, we've already had 5 days that have hit negative temperatures.
What?
It's pretty crazy. And we've been in, since Christmas, we'd had 15 days in single digits.
That sucks.
So that's
now,
a pretty solid 20
32
days.
right now, and sunny. So I'm loving it.
So
okay, so it's a heat wave here in Pittsburgh.
This is bust out the shorts and tank tops.
Boom! But we're going to talk about what today, Adam?
I think maybe some real money savers, some construction shortcuts maybe that we can make.
I would love to talk. I'm sure that's a good topic, and there's always ways to save money, but there's also ways to, you step over a dime to pick up a penny, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So, hey, I'm going to save money here, but you're really shooting yourself in the foot. So there are certain things you can do to shortcut your construction costs without really affecting the quality. And everybody always has a different concept of quality. So it's
subjective.
It's super subjective, yeah. Okay. So, I mean, some people want to do that flip perfect. And if you're going to be perfect and you're anal like that, it's good to a point, but it also can get you in trouble because there's going to be delays, longer holding costs, you're going to go over budget, and you're going to do things that the average eye is never going to pick out. It's not your house. You don't have to look at that drywall bead corner that has to be absolutely perfect, or you'll drive yourself insane because you got to see it every day because you live there.
Right.
If it's off a little bit, I mean, so be it. There's a company locally called Ryan Homes. They're huge, right? I think they're in maybe multiple states. Miranda Homes, Heartland Homes, other builders, even custom builders. If you walk through their houses, they're not perfect. Yeah.
Right.
So you don't, and these are people that are buying $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 and up homes. They don't have to be perfect.
Right. I mean, and this seems to me that in a perfect world, there's perfection in everything. But a home is a complex build, guys. This is not, you're not always going to have, these aren't Legos. They don't seamlessly snap together.
Yeah, I tell you what can save anybody who's not even experienced in doing a flip or buy and hold is if you get the property at the right price, it gives you a whole lot of room to screw up, or to do things that are not needed, but your personality just dictates that, it has to be perfect.
Right.
So that always cures any problems is buying the property at the right price. But very few times do you have the luxury of getting at such a low price that you can make mistakes. And if you want to do a high volume of this, or even just a medium volume of flips and buy and hold, you have to buy the property at the right price, but you're not always going to get at the perfect price. And you're going to have to do the things that allow you to take shortcuts and save a few $100s per room, and maybe $500 or $600 on the exterior. At the end of the day, that could equal $4,000 or $5,000. And if your profit margin on a flip is 20, and you're saving $4,000 or $5,000 on things that are needless and don't need to do them, and it's not going to affect the value or the quality at all, then you need to do that because $5,000 times 30 flips in 1 year is a significant amount of money.
And I'm glad that you said that even some of the newer homes, like brand new homes that are custom construction, no home is ever, from the jump, every home has its quirks that you never really know until you've been there for a year or 2 years or 3 years, So, with a house flip, it's not going to be any different. And I think that a great way that, that I'm hearing it as a novice, I guess, in this, is don't break your back trying to fix things that might be unfixable. And what I mean by that is if there's a certain wall of the house that's constantly cold, there's really not much you can do about that if a wind comes whipping through. I mean, other than maybe put 16 layers of insulation, but what sense does that make? You see what I mean? I'm like trying to be funny about it, but I guess that's more of it. Don't drive yourself crazy trying to make something perfect when perfection can't be reached.
Yeah, absolutely. If it's not going to affect the value, then don't mess with it. So a good example is on roofs. Okay, so we get houses that need roof replacements all the time. It's very common to go over a roof with new shingles. Okay. Now some roofers don't like that because it kind of voids the warranty. Meaning that roof. So I always get a 30-year, higher quality dimensional shingle, 25 or 30 year, and I put them over the roof. If the roof's not too bad, it's just. It's in good shape, but it's definitely worn. It's going to come up in the next 5 years as being, past its useful life, or a home inspector is going to say, "Hey, look, that roof is pretty much shot. You're going to have to replace it." So you might as well do it now. So what we'll do in many cases, we'll just overlay the roof. And what does that do to the life of the roof? It might shave 5 years off the roof. So that roof's only going to last maybe 25 years instead of 30. So does it really matter? Do you really want to provide a 30-year roof to a home buyer? I mean, what's wrong with a 25-year roof?
Right.
You're supplying a new roof with new dimensional shingles on it. You don't have to tear off the old roof. That saves you money there. Saves you time, saves you dumpster fees, and overall a $4,000 roof may cost $3,200. That's $800 you can save right there. So that's one trick. You always can't overlay a roof. Sometimes they're so bad you really need to start over. Okay? Another thing to look at is gutters on a roof. Okay? If they're in good condition, but let's just say they're moldy looking, they need cleaned, or somebody had painted them in the past, and now there's the paint's scraping and peeling. What should I do? Should I put all new gutters on it? Well, most roofers will say just replace all the gutters. So get a price on the gutters. If the replace all the gutters is $3,000, or you can hire a painter, or that roofer will do it for you, and he'll go up there and pressure wash the gutters, seal them, and make sure all the gutters are sealed, and the downspout tubes are sealed, and the downspouts are properly secured, and paint everything. And you can do that for $1,500. We'll do it for $1,500. It's not going to add any value when you sell the house. Where it's going to affect the value is in 10 years when that homeowner they're going to need to scrape and paint the gutters, or they're going to need to replace them.
Which they'd probably have to do anyway.
I mean, it's just the cost of doing business. If you want to supply new everything for your homeowner, then you're just going to cut into you are going to cut into your profit. Because believe me, no one's ever going to pay more money for a house that has new gutters versus freshly painted gutters. It's never going to happen.
Most people wouldn't even know the difference.
Yeah.
I would never know.
Now, where it can make a difference is if you shortcut everything, right? You shortcut replacing the front screen door and fix it. You shortcut and paint the gutters. You shortcut and don't paint the baseboard, just leave it the wood trim, which is nicked up a little bit. So what happens when you shortcut, especially on a higher end flip, people are going to start to get that impression that this whole thing is a shortcut.
Right, exactly.
So there's certain things you can shortcut on and certain things you can't. And don't get me wrong, shortcut doesn't mean lower quality. Shortcut just means I'm going to supply a good quality product that looks super clean. And again, those gutters are going to last 5 or 10 years painted. Or if you want to go ahead and replace them, then go right ahead. But that's, let's say $1,000. That's $2,000 of savings right there on this particular project that you're saving with the roof and the gutters.
Wow. And that's big time money. I mean, you do enough of them, that's big time money. It adds up.
Absolutely. What do you think, like Ryan Homes or Miranda Homes? They cut corners everywhere. They probably cut more corners than I would, for sure. I mean, I know they do. I mean, they pay their contractors very little. They want them to pump out volume. Their quality is typically lower, and so be it. That's just the way it is. It's getting things done less expensive, up to code, and as quickly as possible.
And theirs is like mass production. It's like they're making telephones. It's like mass producing homes. It's like boom, boom. And so and so mistakes are going to be made. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. What are some other good shortcuts?
All right, so I mean, we can just continue focusing on the outside, maybe.
Absolutely. During the wintertime, it's not a bad idea.
What would be some other shortcuts? I tell you what I do a lot of times is, if a screen door is in bad condition, and it really, and let's say you're going to put a new door on the house, I would replace the door with a nice quality door. Don't go over the top. It depends. If you're selling a $500,000 house, you're going to want maybe a couple $1,000 door or $1,000 door. So it depends on the door, but it's very rare that a screen door will sell a house. In fact, if you look at any new home, they don't have screen doors on them. New construction, they don't put screen doors. Yep. So why would you put a screen door in a house you're going to flip? I'd put a screen door in a house you're going to rent, because the renter's going to want to open their doors and lock the screen door and have ventilation. Mm-hmm. You have to. Mm-hmm. But on a flip, to spend $500 on a really nice screen door is a complete waste of money. And that's where people will make the mistake. So there's another $500. Mm-hmm. So screen doors can go. If they're in good shape, keep them. If they're in really poor, deplorable shape and you're going to flip the house, I wouldn't put a new screen door on.
Okay. But you'd say for renters, it is a good idea. Like if it's a property you're renting out.
Renters is it's an entire different business model. Okay. Renting rehab versus flip rehab. Mm-hmm. Different. All right, so that's one exterior. What else? Light fixtures. I always like to do new light fixtures. There are some things that you just should do new, unless it's really a nice light fixture. Just go ahead and replace it. I always do a new mailbox. These are the small things that are costing you $15, $30, but they make a big impact because people see them. The house numbers are clean and new.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Sometimes the little things matter sometimes more than the larger things. Mm-hmm. It's even I know that. Another
one is a garage door. So if a garage door is just completely battered and you want to try to patch it, and that's probably not a good idea. Maybe on a rental you would do that, because a rental and a garage door that's patched and painted and looks clean is not going to get you any more rent than if you had a new garage door. But if you're doing a flip and a garage door is just in poor condition and you're just trying to massage it and get it through, probably not a good idea. Go with a new garage door. But many times we'll scrape and paint an old wooden garage door. Okay. Lube up the tracks, make sure the safety cables are in place, make sure that the springs are good and it's functioning, and paint it. And you won't get any more money on a house that has a new garage door versus a nicely refurbished garage door. So you have to weigh the options on that. I mean, that's pretty much it, because I'm sure there's things we're missing, but like painting, you really can't shortcut on painting. You want to use a good quality paint, good quality primer.
So don't shortcut paint.
Yeah, and you never want to not paint something, because that's as far as when you're rehabbing, painting, cleaning, carpet, those are the three cheapest things. Okay. And they're least amount of money, but they're the first things people see. They see paint, they see flooring, and the place has to be clean. So why would you not spend that money? It's the least amount of money spent with the best return. So we can go to the inside. I'm going to defer to you. What do you think? What's maybe a shortcut that you can think of?
What about, is there anything with the heating? I mean, we just talked about the furnace, furnaces, anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, a good shortcut on heating would be, all right, so you're going to go with like this ultra super expensive Cadillac furnace. Okay? I guarantee you they don't use the super ultra Cadillac furnace on track builders like Ryan and Miranda. I just keep using those because those are the most common home builders in our area. It's Ryan Homes and Miranda. And they both build a good quality new home. I'm just saying I use them as the model because those guys are far vastly more experienced than I am. They build thousands of homes a year. You have to look at people that are more successful than you to do it at a high volume, and learn from them. So they don't put the super high expensive furnace in. So I'm not saying you should put the cheap